Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to IT Skills channel. I'm your host Aiden. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the essential component of Nutanix. So this is our Nutanix. You can see it live. I'm basically took a snapshot of it just to kind of show you how it is. So let me get out of the snapshot. So this is our actual live environment. And I'm going to just explain to you what this dashboard means. This dashboard is very detailed. So let's take a look at this dashboard, what it means for you, so you understand how it works together. So we're going to do a web capture real quick and then just do a full screen capture. First things first, we're going to start with hypervisor summary. Here is basically where you're going to have your hypervisor version. AHV comes with a different version. I'm using the latest version at the moment of this video. You know, this is today's like around January 2024. So we're making this video in January 2024. So therefore, this is the hypervisor version I'm using right now. So this is your hypervisor, the version you're using. The next thing you're gonna see, I'm gonna go in, basically in order, is gonna be the Prism Central. Usually, if you don't set up Prism Central, this is gonna say not connected. But in this case, we did set up Prism Central, so it's not going to say that. It's going to say connected. As you can see, the connected status means that we were able to set up Prism Central. Prism Central, in a short way of saying, is just a way to manage our Nutanix environment better. It adds a lot of features like ability to attach, vTPM, so you can actually do Windows 11 and iOS that require TPM versions. The next thing is you can have is cluster-wide IOPS. Our cluster-wide IOPS is 212, so not bad at all. And then you got your health. The health is very good. Nutanix really does not like to give you this health mark over here without you having to fall into this criteria. So you have your VM. I have 25 VM running currently. They're all healthy. The disk, I have 9 disks. They're all healthy, and 4 storage container. I didn't create that manually. It was created by default. And then critical alert. Here is where you're gonna see how bad it is, like if there's any alerts. So you're gonna see that. So the alerts gonna show up over here, all the alerts. So every bad alerts will show up over here. And if they're bad, you're gonna see them over here. You need to resolve them. Do not wait on those alerts. Then you got the second area, the second tab, if you will. Here's your storage summary. The storage summary is the calculation of all the storage you have attached. I have about 4 terabytes storage attached, but because Nutanix is hyper-converged and it wants to make sure it has a redundancy going on, so it basically let me use only 2 out of the 4 terabytes I have, because it's done it for RAID setup. So that way, if one drive fails, my environment is not completely collapsed. I still will be able to replace that drive and then to get back to full capacity. So this is your storage area, and it's designed to make things easier for you. So storage is something that I would probably say a lot of people forget about it, but it is basically what makes Nutanix tick over here. Without storage, you got a whole lot of issues. And then obviously you can see you can sort this by logical storage and physical storage and so forth. Then you got your cluster-wide controller IO. So you got your controller IO is going to be 3.383 megabyte at the moment, and so I'm not using it currently right there like that because I've been I had a baby, and so I have been not doing anything with it. That's why you probably didn't see any uploads. So but going back to the video, so over here you got your VMs. The number of VMs I told you over here, we have 25 VMs. We have 20 running right now, and then 5 not running. So that's basically not running and then running. Yeah, so hopefully you can make a clear understanding what I'm trying to say over here. My penmanship is not there. So but anyways, so those are 3 about all those 20 VMs. All of them are not working VMs, meaning that they're all not turned on, they're all not utilized. So if you do this math over here, 3 VMs is actually allocated for CVMs. And the CVM is what needs to manage this environment. So each cluster has its own CVM, and because of that, In total, I only have 17 actual VM running because 3 of them is not really actual usable VM for me. And in fact, we're gonna even go further. I have Prism Central currently going on. So that Prism Central, if I add it, I have 16 because 3 is the CVM, three VMs is for CVMs. So for CVM, and then one VM is for Prism Central. So PC, just write PC. So total, my actual capacity or actual VM that I'm running is actually 16. 16 total VMs. That's what I'm running total. So, and then obviously you got your cluster latency. I have about 3.51 millisecond latency, so not bad. I don't have the latest switch. I'm using on the switch like from 10 years ago, so this is expected. And then obviously data resiliency. This is the most important part. Without this being okay, you're gonna have no sleep if you really want to do this right way. So you want this to say okay, and then it shows you over here your fault tolerant domain. And so under here we're going to talk about fault tolerant domain later on, but right now ultimately just know that data resiliency is basically how much of a tolerant failure can you tolerate before you cannot use this cluster anymore. So basically in here we can tolerate one node failure, and that's why we get this. And then you got your warning. The last warning I had is one warning from 9 days ago, and then warning is basically the Ethernet packet received on high rate, error high rate. So NIC 0 packet received error high rate. So I basically didn't have a proper configuration on that. So, but it still doesn't prevent me from using it. Then you got your hardware summary. So I have one block, one huge cluster, and then that cluster, hardware. Server. So I have one server, and it has 3 nodes. So this is the nodes. So basically I have one server with the 3 nodes on it. This is the model of the server, make and model. Then you got your cluster CPUs, store usage. So I have each server or each cluster has about 40, 45 or 42. Is it 25 or let me see the math, hold on. So 80. So yeah, about 40, 45, each node has about 45 gigahertz or 42 gigahertz. My math is, I'm not doing math on my head right now. So 45 or 42 gigahertz. And we can actually do this real detail over here. Let's see if we can do it. I cannot do it. I have to basically slide over, but we can do it later on, verify this. And so that means it's going to add up to 132 gigahertz of CPU, usage, basically utilization I can use. I'm using 90%, which is not much. Then cluster memory, I have this much, 753 gigabytes. So this is how much I have in terms of memory. I'm using 38% of it, so used right now. Then we're gonna go back to fault tolerance. So the node, this is what tells you what you can tolerate. So the node, I can tolerate one node failure before I will start to have problems. So if one node fails for whatever reason, either the storage of the fails or maybe lose power, I'll be able to tolerate it, which means that this is why we get this mark. We can tolerate one node failure, and right now we're good. If there's any info you're gonna get here, any events you're gonna get over here. So this is the summary of it, but let's check on the actual what we got over there. So let me go ahead and actually save this, and then I'm gonna go duplicate this tab, so that way we don't have to do this again. So let's find out the hardware. So if I go to the hardware, and then how much each of the tables shows up, so we can see how many. So yeah, 44 gigahertz of speed for each node. So this is what I was trying to show you earlier. And so yeah, but yeah, so that is pretty much it. So I hope that this video give you a small summary of what Nutanix is all about, what this page means. We'll do more videos soon. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and stay safe out there. Bye bye.